I'm Jonathan McCann, the founding president of the shelter. We're going to show you a video to start with, which will give you some idea of how the shelter is run. Oh, no. The Southampton Animal Shelter is really a place where unwanted, abandoned animals come to, where they are treated lovingly and are cared for extremely well.
You never know what's going to walk through that door. It could be potential adopters, it could be volunteers, it could be an animal or an emergency situation. You really never know. It's always something different every single day. We have a wellness clinic here, and what we do is we do low-cost spay and neuter surgeries, low-cost dental surgeries, as well as vaccines and just general wellness exams.
So right now she's got severe conjunctivitis.
Sometimes we see neglect, starvation, animals who have been abused, and that's something that we have to kind of deal with, and it can be very sad and it can be uplifting when you've saved them.
Previous home owner was basically kept her outside as a puppy, and she had this skin condition, and they were pouring motor oil over her.
Her paws were bleeding a little bit, and it's been 6 months and she hasn't had anything. Her skin is beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It's beautiful now.
Everything's healed completely.
So now when I get home every day, when he gets home every day, she's like waiting at the door. She jumps like 6 feet in the air. She just wants to be around us.
So happy to see
She's
you.
so happy.
Right.
I don't have a partner in my life, and it was just to be able to express love, you know, and have that returned to you, you know. And it's a privilege, really, isn't it? And now we are inseparable.
All I can tell you is that he looks at me in his way, and I know he's saying, please make this my forever.
Abigail came into our life last August. She was in the shelter for many, many years. She was a street dog. She had so many scars on her. It takes time to get to know the animal that you're going to adopt and to be patient with them, and they will give you unconditional love. When you adopt from a shelter, they think that you're saving the animal's life, but in reality, I'm getting very emotional on this. Abigail and Charlie have brought so much joy to our lives, and they truly have saved us.
You good girl?
Bud was a long-time resident at Southampton Animal Shelter, and we felt that he was a great candidate that really needed a spotlight. These are dogs that have a lot of love to give, and while Southampton Animal Shelter is a fantastic place to be, we hope that it is just a temporary place to be until, like Bud just found, his forever home.
So our facility is in dire need of repair right now. It has not been renovated in multiple years. Our floors are just disintegrating under our feet. Our kennels could be repaired to be a little bit safer, cleaner, healthier for the animals.
The shelter is about to undergo major, much-needed repairs and improvements, and we're going to have to move out of our home of 16 years in Southampton. It's going to be a challenging time for the organization, for the staff, and most of all for the animals.
Our donors have kept us going for 16 years, and now more than ever, we need their continued financial support to ensure that the shelter stays a home sweet home that these animals deserve.
Without you all, we would not be able to do the kind of work that we are doing. So please continue to support us.
Are we going bye-bye? Yeah, okay.
The Southampton Animal Shelter Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit, open admission, no-kill shelter.
This is Frankie. He came from, I'm not meant to really talk about this so much right now, but can you use the Bible? Sorry. Okay, this is Frankie. You might have read about
them in the newspaper. There was a woman in Ronkonkoma whose husband died, and every week she'd go into New York City and she would buy another animal, another dog. She had 69 of them. She was filling the emptiness in deplorable conditions. You can see, they were all pedigrees. Frankie, there's a shepherd behind him. Frankie was a year old when they finally broke it up and rescued all the animals. And he couldn't even walk when we got him. And so, yeah, we rehabilitated him and he found a wonderful home.
Since 2009, over 10,000 animals have been rescued and adopted by Southampton Animal Shelter Foundation.
I'm just going to let you scan quickly the red. We'll just read the blue. But yeah, Candy and Checkers came from Ukraine.
Southampton Town eliminated the shelter because of lack of funding. Our mission is to nurture the bond between humans and companion animals through education, advocacy, and adoption. We are dedicated to caring for homeless animals in our community. We rescue dogs from kill shelters and dire situations across the country.
That's Bud. He went through a transformation at the shelter and was happily adopted.
We enrich the lives of animals in our care through training, affection, and veterinary services, ultimately placing them in a loving forever home. Southampton Animal Shelter ensures that every animal in our care finds a loving home, embodying our belief that it's never too late for a second chance. Our wonderful staff loves and takes excellent care of our rescues.
Yeah, Foxy was dumped because she had osteosarcoma of the leg. But thankfully, we found a loving home for her.
Visitors and volunteers are always welcome. We rely on the generosity of our donors and volunteers to care for the homeless animals in our community and place them in loving forever homes. We need your help. Thank you. Good afternoon to all of you animal advocates. I am Jonathan McCann, the founding president of the Southampton Animal Shelter. I want to start by thanking April and Eric and the staff of the church for providing us this fantastic venue for an adopt-a-thon given by the Southampton Animal Shelter. The present exhibition, The Ark, is a perfect time to include shelter animals for adoption. The Southampton Animal Shelter was formed as the 501c3 nonprofit over 20 years ago. Prior to that year, Southampton Town decided to close their animal shelter that they ran in East Quogue. They had 225 animals, which would be destined for euthanasia if they closed. Sonny Shotland, who may be someone that you have known in the past, a founder of ARF in 1974, and Susan Allen, who had been volunteering at the dreaded cement shelter run by the town, contacted me to see if I would be president of the foundation to privatize the Southampton shelter. I agreed, and with two more concerned citizens, we proceeded to move forward. Private money was donated to the Southampton town to build the present shelter in Red Creek Park. By 2009, we had privatized the shelter, taking control, running it in Hampton Bays. Because the building and the land belonged to Southampton town, it was agreed that a 3-year contract would be executed whereby the town was obligated to repair parts of the building that had been poorly built. From that time going forward, I worked with town supervisor Linda Cabot and her successor Jay Schneiderman to be certain that the repairs on the building were executed and that the partnership between the town and the privatized shelter was working smoothly. Our obligation is to shelter all abandoned animals in the Southampton Township. That is of tantamount importance. At times, we've been able to help other shelters in the area, as well as those in areas devastated by storms and fires. If there is space at our shelter, we rescue homeless animals from different parts of the country. Our mission is to provide housing, food, medical treatment, training, and needed rehabilitation for all abandoned animals. Since the inception of Southampton Animal Shelter, we've saved over 10,000 animals. The video that you have just seen shows the dedication of our staff, enabling the animals to flourish and find forever homes. The public, our most important partner, helps us accomplish that work that we provide, and I'm extremely appreciative for the unwavering help to complete our mission. Onward to the future. The shelter is facing a grave situation this September. The town of Southampton will begin replacing the septic system and all the cement floors which are crumbling. Southampton Town has received a New York State grant to make the repairs. Their renovation team feels it will take 4 to 5 months to complete the project. During that time, all the animals need to be removed from the building. The town will allow the shelter to erect all-weather trailers to house the animals in the parking lot. Presently, there are 40 dogs and at least 100 cats. Various domestic rabbits are also a part of the shelter population. This upcoming renovation will be very upsetting for the animals. However, the staff will be in place to care for them and exercise all of them. Hopefully, there will be business as usual under these trying circumstances. Presently, a stronger foster program is in place to help the animals make the transition during the renovation. We have brought foster applications for you if you might be willing to foster for any period of time. Even a few weeks could be helpful to the animals. Furthermore, if you might be interested in finding your new best friend to adopt, the volunteers also have adoption applications. This is a terribly stressful and expensive time for the shelter. That's another reason that I'm so pleased to see you here. We're very grateful to the public for their support. Our mission is a community affair. Without you, our public, the shelter could not continue. Thank you for your participation today. I wish you all well during this turbulent time. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask them. If not, I'll turn the program over to my esteemed colleague, Sue Denise. Sue is a volunteer at the shelter. Her practice of ginseng is fascinating, and she helps the shelter dogs immensely by applying this hands-on technique. In the video, you may have seen the three-legged pit bull. That dog blossomed under Sue's care, which she will now tell you about. Here is Sue Denise. Thank you all.
Thank you, Jonathan, and thank you all for being here today. So I'm going to speak about my work at the shelter, Jinshin Jitsu for Your Animal Companion. Here I am at Tamerlane Animal Sanctuary, where I was trained in Jinshin Jitsu. And it's funny, a friend of mine shot this picture. I was doing Jinshin Jitsu on that first goat, and I had no idea all the rest of them lined up. Like, pick me. So just quickly about me, I'm a holistic registered nurse, health educator, and family therapist. I've studied Jinshin Jitsu for 28 years. I'm trained as a practitioner to do it on you. I'm trained to teach you to do it on you, and I'm trained to do it on animals. I'm also trained in Reiki and therapeutic touch, but my love is Jinshin Jitsu. I was an ICU nurse for many years. I saw horrific trauma. People, either gravely ill or gravely injured. At the time, I wasn't trained in Jinshin Jitsu, but now I just so believe in it because if you learn it, you can help yourself. When you're a patient in the hospital, everything's out of your control. Jinshin Jitsu gives you a little control. In today's rush, we all think too much, we seek too much, we want too much, and we forget about the joy of just being. So while you're here, I want you to take a moment just to pause and to breathe. And now I want you to just gently cross your arms under your armpits for as long as you can and pay attention to your breathing. When we do Jinshin Jitsu on animals, it's really important for the humans to be totally harmonized. Animals are very intuitive, and they can really, so we say, don't come to an animal with needy hands. Be totally relaxed and harmonized yourself. So this is called the big hug, and it helps harmonize all the energy in your body. So Jinshin Jitsu means Jin is the person of awareness and compassion. Shin is the creator, and Jitsu is art. That's why so many people think it's a martial art, because jujitsu. But it's a practice that harmonizes energy in the body through gentle hands-on touch. It's 3,000 years old. This guy, Jiro Murai, he was a 26-year-old Japanese nobleman. He was dying. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. He told his family to take him up to their summer retreat in the mountains and pick up his body in a week. And there he found the Koji, the book of ancient things, and he learned about Jinshin Jitsu, and over that week he healed himself. During World War II, he met this woman, Mary Burmeister, who was a displaced Japanese American back in Japan, and he taught her this, and she brought it back to our country in the 1950s. It's now taught all over the world. So what makes you walk, talk, think, digest food is energy. And energy runs through our body just like your blood does, just like your lymph does. It starts at your base of your heel and goes up your back and down your front in this oval all day long. It feeds energy into our cells. Whenever there's trauma or stress or illness, these paths can become blocked and then lead to more discomfort physically, mentally, or emotionally. There are hundreds of quotes on energy, but I've picked two. Albert Einstein said, "Everything is energy, and the treatment of illness by energy is conceivable," in 1934. And Albert, Nobel laureate in medicine, 1937, said, "In every culture and every medical tradition before ours, healing was accomplished by moving energy." We are air creatures. So if you see a newborn baby in a hospital, they breathe with their whole belly. They're totally relaxed. But as we get older and we get stressed and people yell at us or criticize us, we breathe shallower and shallower. So we are air creatures. We take our breath for granted. We can live 3 weeks without food, 3 days without water, but only 3 minutes without air. And so it's so important to breathe. When you don't breathe, you end up with all kinds of problems. When we exhale, so our breath is our simplest self-help tool. When we exhale slowly, consciously, and deeply, we release tension and stress out of our bodies. When we inhale, we receive an abundance of energy. So there's a saying, breathe deep, live deep, breathe shallow, live shallow. Mary Burmeister always said, we get disease not from what we're lacking, but what we haven't let go of. To let go of the stuff in our body that we no longer need. So similar to acupuncture, Jinshin Jitsu uses light touch on 26 energy spheres on each side of the body. Holding these safety energy locks can restore balance to our body, mind, and spirit. Jinshin Jitsu is inborn. Instinctively, people place their hands on their bodies to soothe themselves. You get a headache, you hold your head. You're trying to think of something, you hold your forehead. You stub your toe, you hold your toe. Mary Burmeister said, within each of us lies the power to know peace and oneness, to be that beautiful creation of perfect harmony, and truly know and help ourselves. So Jinshin Jitsu brings balance to the body's energy. It supports healing, it reduces the effects of stress, and it creates relaxation. It uses light pressure over specific points on the body to harmonize the body's energy flow. Self-help uses your own hands on your body. So here's something else I'd like you to try. Each finger is an organ and an emotion. So when energy runs through up our back, down our front, and runs through our fingers, each finger, so this is again 3,000 years old. So just now you can move your hand and just gently hold your left thumb. The thumb is the stomach and the spleen. And the emotion is worry. So you're doing this very gentle. It's not like a heavy grip. So it's a wonderful thing, even if when you're going to sleep at night. I do this every night, and I haven't been sick in years. I never get a cold. So each one is also an emotion. So your thumb is worry. If you're worried about something, just gently hold your thumb, and it will just help it. It will diffuse it. Your index finger is your, so you can move on, is your kidneys and your adrenal glands and your bladder. And the emotion is fear. So if you're fearful of something happening, just gently hold your index. For those suffering social anxiety, what is social anxiety? It's worry and fear. So just gently go back and forth, hold worry and fear. The middle finger is your liver and your gallbladder, and the emotion, take a guess, is anger. I mean, think about it. People they're feeling angry and they give it away to everybody else. 3,000 years ago, they realized that the middle finger was anger. It's like amazing. And if you're really angry at someone, just exhale, drop your shoulders, gently hold your middle finger, and it is amazing. It will totally diffuse your anger. Your ring finger is your lungs and your large intestine, and the emotion is grief. So if you're feeling really sad or you're grieving something or someone, gently hold your ring finger. I have full handouts on everything in the back. And then finally, your pinky is your heart and your small intestine. And the emotion, we call it pretense. It means feeling overwhelmed. Too much going on in your life. Too much to do. Putting up a good front to everyone else, but feeling terrible inside. And then to put your palms together, which is amazing. Putting your palms together harmonizes all the energy in your body. At 3,000 years ago, and what did this become? Namaste in yoga. It became prayer. So while you're sitting here, I just gently go through your fingers. It's a wonderful thing. So Jin Shin Jitsu for your animal companion, this is Adele Lass. And Adele was an actress in New Orleans. She was on vacation in 1988. She was 26 years old. She was with her fiance. They were in West Palm Beach, and they were swimming. They got pulled out to sea in a rip current. The last thing she remembers is her fiance grabbing her hand and saying, "I've got you." And the next thing she heard was, "We've got a double code blue." So both Adele and her fiance drowned. They were both given CPR. Sadly, her fiance didn't make it. And Adele made it, but she had only 30% lung function. So at 26 years old, she was on oxygen 24/7. She couldn't work. A friend of hers said, "I know this Jin Shin Jitsu person," and Adele was like, "I don't want that." She's like, I'm 26 years old. I can't work. I'm totally disabled. I need money. I can't, afford this. But she went, and over like a period of 10 years, she did Jin Shin Jitsu. She actually went out to Scottsdale to Mary Burmeister, and she was totally healed. And she fell so in love with it that she became a practitioner. And then she's a huge animal lover. So she was like, what about animals? And no one in all the years had done the jump from humans to animals until Adele did, and she wrote a textbook on it. So she's my mentor. So this Mary Burmeister calls these energy spheres in our bodies safety energy locks. And similar to humans, they promote harmony, health, and they help animals feel at peace. So here's a dog, here's a cat, horse, guinea pig, bunny, bird. Here I am in training, and it is amazing. Like, all the animals just love it. As long as you yourself are harmonized first. we say needy hands. Don't go grab an animal with needy hands and think you're going to calm them down if you're not calmed down. So one of the holds I start with all the time with animals at the shelter is something called the centering hold. It's just a very easy resting your hands on the chest and the back in between. Claire, you want to bring George up for me? Should we grab his bed or? Sure. So many of the animals, when you saw the PowerPoint Jonathan did, I'll put it right over here because I'm going to sit on this side, have been traumatized. You know, an animal will never treat a human the way humans treat animals. Come on, George. Hi. George came from terrible trauma. He was very, very thin. He was neglected, wasn't given food, you know, starving. He's really fattened up. He looks like a very different dog now. Yeah. Sure. So what I do to start is I just gently sit with them and I hold. Sorry, it's okay, George. It's okay. Hold their chest and between their shoulder blades. And it's just resting your hands here. And over time, they really, really relax. It is really extraordinary. And you can just gently pet them and then just let your hand pause. Hi. You can keep them there. You can stay. So that's where I always start with all animals. And this is wonderful for you to do at home, you know, if you're sitting on a couch with your dog or cat or bunny or whatever, and just gently rest your hands there. It forms a deep connection between you and your pet, as well as helping them get over trauma. So holding here balances the inhale and the exhale, right? Again, we're air creatures. So here's the centering hold. It establishes a connection with the animal. It helps animals get over attitudes of sadness and grief. It helps animals get over abuse and neglect. It helps animals feel more secure and adjust to new situations. It helps frightened animals and those who have lost trust feel more secure. And it reopens them to receiving love. So it's a number of animals I've worked with. Like here's Onyx. Onyx came from Florida. She was like 9 months old when we got her. There was a couple in Florida, they had 150 dogs. So the dogs were pretty much feral. She was terrified. So you look at her, how she is here. And then within 10 minutes, I had her to that. By just starting with the centering hold and then moving through. So here's Kimmy.
Hi. So here's Kimmy.
I hate my voice.
Is a rescue by the Thistle Foundation and sent to us. She sadly was in a puppy mill for the first 2 years of her life.
So she's 2 years in a puppy mill, left in a cage, only let out to have babies. She was terribly fearful of humans.
Trauma that she suffered in her life. I'll once again do the centering hold. So I'll gently put her hand underneath her in her shoulders.
So on her chest.
And one on her back.
Look at that. Look at George looking at Kimmy. He's totally mesmerized.
When working with a dog, make sure
Just,
you are centered.
she was shaking, poor Kimmy.
Dogs are really intuitive. They know exactly how we are feeling. She's a beautiful girl. When she first came in, she was terrified. You could see that she was very abused. She was afraid of people to get near her. And with this, she just begins to relax and be calm.
Yes. And she got adopted already, so wonderful story. And here's Freddie. So the next thing I do on dogs and cats, but I want to teach you to do it on you too, is called the Total Body Harmonizer. And this is something like I do when I wake up in the morning. If you could just take time to do 36 breaths before you get out of bed, it's a wonderful thing. So maybe you could hold it to me. So what I would do, what I want you to learn to do, is you take your left hand and you put it on your right shoulder. You take and this is your number 11, the sphere, and you take your right hand and you put it on your sit bone. So this you can do it while you're watching television. It's a wonderful thing if you could just take that time before you get out of bed in the morning to do 36 breaths. So you do 9 breaths in each position. So you would do 9 breaths here. And again, perfect to do while you're watching television. 9 breaths here. This stays on the 11. This comes to the 15. And just relax, exhale. Pay attention to your breathing. And then it's 9 breaths here. Again, 11, 25. So your sit bone is your 25 for 9 breaths. And then 11 to 15. And again, if you don't have enough time, this is a really good one, but in this one, we ask you to please do both sides, because it's really important, because it's harmonizing all of your body. But if you could only do, like, say you only have time for this 9 breaths, okay, then later on, do 9 more breaths. Then later on, sometime in the day, do 9 breaths, and then do 9 breaths. 36 is an important number, because it's really a whole cycle of breaths. It's where the breath finally leaves the body once it has come in. So then with a dog, they don't really have shoulders like humans, but they have shoulders here. So I take George and I hold him in the 11 and the 25. And I would hold that for like 9 of my breaths. And then I would hold on the inside for 9 breaths. And then the opposite side for 9. And then here. And it's just wonderful for the animals. It really, really helps them be calm, be relaxed, get over the trauma that they have struggled. Now, George has been through a great deal of trauma, and I'm sad to say that this is the very first time I've put hands on George, but he's pretty receptive. I have to work with him more because he has been through horrific trauma. Thank you. When we exhale, we let go of what we no longer need. when we inhale, we receive what we do need. So this also helps. It helps our digestion, our breathing, our spine. Maria was used instead of problem. She liked the word projects because she always felt like a project. You can fix it. And another really good thing about this one is it helps all heart projects. So heartbreak and heartache, it helps the emotional heart to feel and receive love again, as well as any physical ailment of the heart, it helps. And that's the total body harmonizer. So I have this in your handouts. This is like, it's very easy stuff to learn. You can do this on horses, you know. This was a dog named Unique. It definitely helps them let go of their past. The New York Post did a story on me working with animals. And this is the thanks I get. Thank you.